So guys, new video today. Um, I didn't even expect to talk about this today. I'm gonna just be honest with you. Like, I had nothing to talk about until I asked God, like, what should I talk about? And He said this. So I'm gonna just get started. So you already know by the title of the video. It's about what does it mean like to be a Christian. Like, what does Christianity even mean? So in this, I chose to talk about what I learned through being a Christian, like what it actually means, and what overall what I just learned, like the top things I learned while being a Christian. So the first thing I want to talk about is what it means to be a Christian. Is you know what I learned is that Christian, like being a Christian, is just it's more than just a title. Um, People think like if they grew up in church or like they go to church every Sunday, that that means they instantly like they're a Christian. And I learned that's not even true. Because there's many people out there who call themselves Christian, but they don't prove it by their overall how they live their life. Um, and this is all like America, like this all American stuff. Like people think just because I go to church or or like a cross on my neck or something that made me a Christian. And the it's not even a hard truth, but for many people that's the hard truth. Going to church don't make you a Christian at all. Like that doesn't make you a Christian. I'm a Christian, right? And I know I should like go to church, but like what makes me a Christian is like not my action. Well, yeah, your actions can prove it, but like a Christian is someone who not only like follows the teachings of Jesus, but like they have a personal relationship with God. Like they have a relationship with Jesus. They aim to get closer to God and like be more like Him. Um, I thought Christianity was just like a bunch of rules and a way to just make life suck. Honestly, I thought I had to keep a bunch of like rules, like the Ten Commandments. I thought I had to keep the Ten Commandments in order to like please God and make Him happy, right? I thought I had to jump through hoops just to have a relationship with Him. He taught me that like throughout the years, the more and more I got closer to Him, that's not what it's about. Jesus said Himself like the whole law overall, like the whole law is summed up in loving God and loving your neighbor. That's it. That's all He literally like asks from us after we become a Christian or like choose to like believe in Him as our Lord and Savior. Like all Jesus is asking of us is just like love people. Love. That's all He's telling us to do is just love people. But people tend to exaggerate it. You know what I learned also? That people tend to like confuse Catholicism and Christianity as like the same thing. And that is extremely false. I talked about that in the past. How Catholicism and Christianity are not the same. People tend to confuse it and think, oh, it's just the same thing. Like, no, it's not the same thing. I may talk about that in the future, but if you want to talk about that with me in the DMs or something, hit me up because it is not the same. But that's the point. Um, but yeah, that's the first thing I learned in Christianity is like, or just like being a Christian in general. It's more than just a title. Like being a Christian, it's like you have to prove, not like you have to like prove yourself to everybody, but like you gotta, your lifestyle should prove it. Like people should automatically know, like not automatically, like they should tell like something's different about you. You don't do what everybody else does, and that's another thing I learned. Is that Christianity is not easy. Um, People, well, some evangelists may like you know, I'm using my hands a lot, but that's what I do. People like advertise Christianity as like a smooth life kind of thing. They tend to like talk about it as if it's smooth, bro. Like it's no difficulty. It's all about prosperity. It's all about getting what you want. It's all about following your dreams and your heart. Um, Truth is, it's not that easy, and it's not as fluff cake as it may seem, or as they try to like make it seem like. Um, there is a bunch of battles you are gonna go through, but people like will think, well, don't you want to enjoy your life here on Earth? And my answer to that is like, well, sure, yeah, like I want to enjoy my life here on Earth, but I'm not really focused down here. Um, what makes it what makes it worth it being a Christian is that the eternal, like the spiritual realm after you die. Um, I'll get to that in another video on how like people think there's different roads to heaven. I'll get to that later. But it's not. I don't care much about like here on Earth. Though I do want to make like a good impact before I go, but overall, it's like so worth it when like you did so much and you worked so hard for God's kingdom, and that you chose to like make the right decision, like put your faith in Jesus. Is that like makes living worth it. Like everything is so much worth it when like you die and you're in heaven and you're there with, talking to Jesus, and like he's so proud of you because first you put your faith in him, and secondly, you did the best you could. That's what makes it so worth it, and the eternal aspect, not just like down here on earth, That's why I don't care much about my life here now because it's like I don't care anymore. I really don't care about just money or like fame or getting a bunch of girls and stuff. Like that's what I used to care about when I was younger, but now I'm just like, nah, like that stuff don't matter to me no more. Um, the next thing I learned about being a Christian is that not everybody is gonna like you. Um, this was hard because I lost some. I don't really lose friends, but like I lost some connection to like older friends and stuff, and I don't even talk to them anymore. I hope they're okay. I pray for them like most of the time, but not everybody's gonna like you. Jesus said to his disciples, and he's telling us too, like as people, if you follow Jesus, this is gonna happen to you. He said they hated me, they're gonna hate you because and the reason why they're gonna like hate you as a Christian if you are a Christian, what I learned that as a Christian is that you don't live the way other people do. You contradict the way the world lives. You don't smoke, you don't cuss, you don't go to parties, you don't have sex with everybody, you don't support a political you know things of like politics like abortion or you know the gay community, I don't know. And people are gonna look at you furiously like, oh, so you don't want to be like us, or like not even that, like they're gonna think like you're doing something wrong. The world is gonna like reject you. They're gonna push you away. Um, and that's why as Christians we say we don't belong to this world. It's not our home anymore. We don't belong here. We belong in heaven now. We're citizens. That's what we call each other, citizens of heaven. Because down here we don't do what everyone else does, and that's why people are gonna hate you because you're different, you know. And growing up, that hurt. I'm not gonna lie, like that hurt because like when it's like as a person you want to feel like you belong somewhere, but not everybody's gonna accept you for who you are. And I learned that not everybody's going to accept me for being a Christian. They're not going to accept my view. They're not going to accept that I think Jesus is the only way to heaven. They're not going to accept that I think abortion is wrong or, you know, smoking is wrong, right? They want me to justify that stuff, but I just don't want to because that's what not just what I think, like I know that's the truth. Like that stuff is wrong. Um, and that's another thing I learned. I could go all day on that topic, but you know, the last thing I learned is that you're not alone in life, right? Even when you feel alone in life, and like it seems like no one else is there for you, Jesus is there for you no matter what. Even like I seen this video where this person was like in a conversation with God, and he said like during our conversation, Jesus told him his kingdom is all about helping people, and whether like a person is a part of his kingdom or not, he's still gonna help like everybody. Um, and I always thought like, man, I messed up too much. God don't want me. He don't want me no more. He rejects me. That's it. But he broke down that wall and like showed me, you know, me as his child, like he's never gonna push me away. He's never gonna reject me. He's always gonna love me for me, but he will, transform me into who he wants me to be. And it's that easy no, because there's some things I want to hold on to, but it's for the best I let go of it. Just like I said in the last video, I had a really bad, gaming addiction. I didn't see nothing wrong with it until he showed me that it's hurting like my family and stuff, and I didn't see that. So even when God asks you to change, it's for the best. Yes, it hurts to change, but it's for the best. He can't leave us where we are. We're all here to be transformed into Jesus, a loving being, um, friendship, companionship, love everybody, and yeah, just overall being cordial. So that's what I learned. about Christianity and being a Christian. And yeah, hope you have a